Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to some more Sokoto Finish here in Victoria 3. As always, first things first, let's make sure everything's working here. Hello, me. Hey, right back at you, buddy. All right, welcome back. What do we got going on here? We got a brand new-ish run here. So we just started a new run as Sokoto. We're in episode 2. We had the first one earlier today. So we are back. I feel like my light is like shining on me like crazy here. Ooh, wrong direction. All right, there we go. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, we're back. What a start. Yes, okay, so we're off to a decent start here. We had a pretty good start. We have a lot of construction sectors going, and we're able to afford it. Though, I don't know if we should keep all of them here in Nigeria. Because we want to go to iron frame buildings there. So maybe over the course of this episode, we might switch a couple over here. So that we don't have to go for like 15 iron mines when we get iron frame buildings. Speaking of which, where are we here? Okay, so we got the cotton gin going. Then lathe. Then we can get the Atmo engine. So we're not really going to iron frame buildings until we get the Atmo engine, though. I mean, we're not going to iron frame buildings until we get urban planning anyway. Hopefully we get tech spread on that. But I mean, we're at 22 construction points as is, so we could stay on wooden frame buildings for a decent amount of time here. So what are we building? What are we building? Yeah, so we're building in the capital here, getting some tooling workshops, some government admin to get us out of the deficit there. Finish off the port. And then we could get some shipyards and get ourselves some involvement somewhere so that we can start doing some trading. You know, maybe it might be worth it to move to small scale trading for now. Yeah, because we obviously are a small scale operation here. So we'll probably go with that. Now the question is, there's still some conquering we could do, and I should get it done sooner rather than later, before any European powers come and do it. We are at 50 infamy. But I did also downgrade the military quite a bit. Let's see. Yeah, like if we went for Dahomey here. Yeah, like getting the stuff that's not on the coast is getting the stuff that is on the coast is ideal, because that's what will get taken first. If we cut off access to like Borgu here, then nobody's really going to go there. So what would happen if we did annex country? Who would get involved? Yeah, Denmark, 2 Sicilies, Mascara, Constantine. First of all, Mascara and Constantine, where did I see them? Why would you guys get involved in this? You have France breathing down your neck here. You don't have time to get involved with what I'm doing. Like, don't you see what happened to Morocco here? Good lord. All right. Oh, what do we have? Oh, we have input good shortages on tools here. Yeah. I guess, oh, we're about to finish the tooling workshop in 1 week. Actually, it might be worth it. Yeah, we're going to go with our first iron mine here. And we'll put that after the government admin. Because then we can go to iron, wrought iron tools. And that's what we'll do there. All right. Away we go. Oh, hey, a bunch of chat just popped up. I think my chat thing got backed up for a second there. Hey, Mauricio, how you doing, my friend? How you doing? Hi, I took a nap Right on time for this series. Nice. Nice. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Super Frank, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Oh, last day in Scotland. Nice, nice. Honestly, I'm looking forward to 4 days of doing nothing until work on Monday. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. How has Scotland been? Oh, I miss it. I want to go back. What a great place that was. And I only saw Edinburgh. Mascara, let's cross the Sahara. Yeah, to deal with Sokoto. Who cares about the coast? I know, right? Like, my God, come on, you guys. Keep your eye on the ball here. The enemy is, for you, is France. Oh, man, one of these days I'm going to do an Algeria run. But right now, that day is not today. We are Sokoto. Hey, maxed out. What is up? What is up? Hello, everybody. Sorry I missed the first stream. I slept late. Oh, no worries. No worries. I can sympathize. I can sympathize with wanting to sleep in there. But you're here now. That's all that matters. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, so when this hires up a little bit more, I would like to start making some fancy furniture. Oh, we can kind of do it now. All right, let's do it now. And now, yeah, so our trade centers are importing some of it. Hey, Bizman, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hey, Ham, I'm all caught up from the morning stream, bruh. Bruh. Ah, nice. A callback to a joke from the first episode. I love it. How you doing? Good to see you. Nice entrance. All right, so we got the we already got the additional government admin worked out. What is paper at right now? Because we need to start incorporating a lot of places. Like how much let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me check something here. Oh, okay, there we go. Look at you. Yeah, all shaved and cleaned up. Looks good. Thank you, thank you. It wasn't even really a shave. I just trimmed it. But God, I let it get so long that I didn't realize it was going to get quite this short. I don't mind it, but yeah, it was quite a drastic change. I forgot what my face looked like. And I didn't even get all the way down to my face because I didn't shave it clean. But thank you, thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna need like 64 here. 32 there. This was 96. Another 1,208. 119. Oh, wait, not ours. Already doing that one. Oof. Yeah, we're gonna need like 150 bureaucracy just to cover this. It is. Oh, that is only 3 more. Only 3 more. And how much paper do one of these take? 10. So we need like 30 more. All right, so we're going to do 1. We're going to do 3 more. We'll get the iron done first. The port isn't as much of a concern because we have 2 of them now. So we'll get the iron mines done. We'll do the additional paper mill. Then we'll get 3 government admins. When we're done with those admins, we can finally incorporate all of our other states here. Because remember, all of these unincorporated states we're not collecting any taxes from. Although, I guess it really depends on... I mean, regardless, we need them incorporated. The government's attempt to pass the colonial resettlement law has brought the ethics of colonialism to the forefront of public debate. So 20% chance to get plus 10%, 40% chance to get plus 20, 40% to get negative 10. Or the guarantee, well, not guaranteed, it's not guaranteed, but we'll take this one. All right, we got the plus 10. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Always gotta shave lower during the summer. The itching is a killer. Yeah, it really started to itch so much. That's what finally motivated me. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, the itching is too much. And it's not even the kind of itching where you can just be like, I'm contemplating the problems of the world. It's more like, I feel dirty right now. So I finally had to go. Hey, Warlock, what's up? What's up? Hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Radical Anarchist. Hello, hello. How are you? Successfully made the jump to Linux Mint. Nice. Dove into the deep end. No dual boot. Wow, nice, nice. I already like it more than Windows. I did run into my first snag already, though, when I booted Vicky 3 last night. Oh, really? What happened? What happened? I realized the fan speed and performance app, on my gaming laptop isn't native to Linux. I did find a clone for it, so that'll be one of my first orders of business. Worth it, though. Already a huge improvement. Oh, that's awesome. I love that you switched over. Yeah, the one nice thing I have realized about Linux is whatever, like, your problem is, whatever isn't working, somebody else has had this problem. And so somebody has a solution out there. Like, if you're not doing highly advanced stuff, especially, like, if you're just gaming, somebody's run into that problem. And so there's probably a solution somewhere out there. So, yeah. Oh, nice. I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, Linux Mint is really nice. I actually just created a media server, a home media server for myself. I took an old, busted, Intel-based MacBook Pro, so it has a busted screen. And so I loaded up Linux Mint on it, and it's currently my media server. So I've been using Mint a little bit as well, and it is really nice. I like it. Still can't believe that Ham is building universities and government admins. I know, right? All that's left for me to do is to get the kids out of the mines. I mean, it is kind of a kick in the butt to get your... Why would I get that? I don't care about that. It is a bit of a kick in the butt to get your construction sectors going when you only start off with 3 techs on the production end. So, yeah. Yep, we are getting them, though. I did have a game question. How reliably do peasants move between states in your country? I still have about 300k peasants in Colombia, about a quarter of my working pops, but any given state only... it's going to pop up in a second there. Right now, nobody's moving around because we're on serfdom. If you're on serfdom or tenant farmers, they're not going to be able to move. Once you get off of that, so if we can get to peasant proprietorship, then they actually will move around quite considerably. Yeah, like right now, none of our states have any migration because nobody's allowed to move around. Oh, well, okay. We are getting immigrants. Oh, yeah. So I guess people, I forgot. Yeah, people can move around, just not peasants. But once you get off of serfdom or tenant farmers, the peasants will really start moving around. But any given state only has between 20k to 50k. With how quickly I'm building new buildings, there's not going to be enough in the states I'm building to fully staff them. I've been using greener grass, but that's increasing my already pretty high peasant population. Yeah. Once you get on peasant proprietorship, they will start moving around quite a bit if there's work for them. What did you say to do if your graphics card doesn't run for Linux? I would say what I found is whatever your graphics card is, there's some Linux distro out there that it will work well on. I have an AMD one, and so from what I've been reading, AMD cards generally work well. It's NVIDIA cards that are a little finicky. So I got the distro I'm using is Bazite, which is specifically made for gaming, and from what I've been told, it has preloaded a lot of drivers for NVIDIA. So if you have an NVIDIA card, this one might be the one for you. But generally, it seems like there's somebody has made some drivers for it out there. So you just kind of do a search, or check out like the Linux forums on Reddit, and somebody will be able to point you in the direction of it. It sounds like. Are elections random? Or there's a logic to how much vote a certain interest group gets? That's one of the aspects of the game I need to do a deeper dive into. Specifically, when the election season starts, why certain parties start with what they have. I don't actually know the answer to that question right now. Because I've wondered that myself. When an election starts, like, sometimes it does kind of seem like the momentum and all of that for the parties are random. But I feel like there's got to be something about it there. But yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know. I have to do a deeper dive into that. That actually should be a video I do at some point fairly soon. Elections. Because I know how to, like, maneuver the elections during the election season. But yeah, at the start of the election season, it's interesting sometimes where some parties start. My instinct tells me, though, it's not random. There's got to be something driving that starting situation. Man, we have got a lot of authority, because we've got 300 here. And then we're doing 200 and 200 there. I also realize we're not doing a greener road maintenance. Maybe we do it in Eastern Mali when we start building that mosque. Oh, we have our iron mine. We have our iron mine. Ah, colonial resettlement. It's on. It is on. So, remind me how much one iron mine can do. 20. Wow. If we went to iron frame tools here. Alright, well, let's do that. Let's stop subsidizing this. Alright. Oof, we can do a lot. I mean, we're just gonna have to do a lot. First of all, we want to, like, get started everywhere around us. We're gonna start with everything we border. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll hold off on that. So I want to do this. Because the more colonies we create, the slower it's going to go. So I just want to do stuff we're actually bordering. Which means I should have just gone for frontier colonization, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I was trying to pass multiculturalism, but my party broke up and everything got screwed over because elections came. Oh, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. And I guess you didn't have the electoral clientelism where you can tip your finger on the scales. Oh, we got North Cameroon. There. I think that's... Which one is our little bit? Although sometimes that doesn't even work. When you tip the scales like that on the election. Oh, this. There we go. Oh, yeah. So wait, why am I not... Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I see, I see. So we... Yeah, here it is. So we got... Yeah, we have a claim here now. Okay, good. Yeah, my NVIDIA card was too old and not supported. So run on... Oh, everything just got moved up. They run on the Fabric version, so even 200 megabyte games run with unplayable lag. Hopefully next one I have is better. Try out Bazite. I would say try that out. So far Bazite's been working great for me. I mean, again, I have an AMD card, but from what I was reading, there's supposed to be a lot of NVIDIA compatibility with that one. Oppress the traditionalist movement with that authority. Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't realize they're up to 16% now. Ooh yeah. All right, let's do that. Good call there. Good call there. What do we have input good shortages on? The tools. All right. Yeah, now we got some issues here. All right, let's get these guys hired up. Yeah, we're using up quite a bit of infrastructure here. So we're building up here. We'll finish that port. The shipyards. Then I think we'll move some construction. Actually, we might even move it here. Oh, well, one thing we can do is we can afford some road maintenance over here now. Yeah, so once we move some construction sectors, they'll be back to where they need to be. Which NVIDIA GPU you got? Bro, what is that? I never heard of it. Wait. Heard of what? Did Mauricio say what his card was? I don't know. Cool, cool. Shouldn't be a problem then. I have peasant proprietorship. Oh, yeah. There you go. So I was just worried. It feels like the run is getting away from me a bit. Mostly in that it feels like there's a few different fires of rapid inflation, and I can only fight one at a time. I thought about starting over, but it feels like an overreaction since my reserves and IP are still fine. Yeah. Yeah, if those are good, you still got a chance. You still got a chance. I figure either I get it back under control or it's a catastrophic failure and I learn a few things. Win-win either way. There you go. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. It's a win-win either way. I was playing Sweden and trying to pass it in 1873. Oh, okay. 1873, that's not bad. Multiculturalism then. Remember too, if you have any of these, like, these minority rights movements, Usually, oh, well, usually they help you with national, multiculturalism. Not so much for us, though. Interesting. Not that it matters for us right now. We're nowhere near it. And yeah, looking for a solution to the problem with my performance app. Remind me what I love and missed about being a coder. Yeah, good community, problem solving, helpful guides. And option, let me know how you like self-hosting. Oh, yeah. So far, it's okay. It's really, really early times, though, so there's still a lot more time for me to be a catastrophic failure with it. I've been thinking about doing that with my digital media when I can to get off of streaming service. That's exactly what we're trying to do. One challenge at a time, though, yeah. I'm tired of not owning anything. It just, like... And my wife was really the one that spearheaded this one. I was a little skeptical for a long time, and she's been wanting to do it, so she finally convinced me to do it. I am really tired of the fact that we don't own anything anymore. All this media that we purchase, we're not really purchasing it, and I'm like, I'm gonna create my own server then. Are you concerned about your commitment? No. I mean, I took this one knowing that we weren't really gonna get it. The standard of living. We needed it at the time. It'll be tough, you know. We'll lose 10 legitimacy and all this stuff. The Sunni Ulema will be pissed at us, but it is what it is. It's early time, so we can get back on track with it. You know, I didn't realize we've basically almost tripled our literacy rate, so not bad there. Oh, that Electro Client thing. Oh, you said I didn't have that Electro Client thing. So when you first enact a voting law, you get an amendment called Electro Clientelism, and that's the amendment that lets you manipulate elections. So at the beginning of every election season, it'll ask you, do you want to tip the scales to this one party? And it gives them, like, I think it's like 150% momentum. Now, depending on where the election is starting, it doesn't always mean they'll win. It usually means they'll win, but not always. But basically, when you first get on a voting law, you'll get it. Now, if you don't manipulate the elections 5 times in a row, then you lose the amendment. Excited about this stream. Caught up on the VOD from this morning, making me want to try Sokoto. It looks like a good starting setup. It is, actually. So far, so good. So far, I mean, knock on wood, has been pretty peaceful. I've never done a full run, so I don't know if something's coming for me around the corner here, but yeah, I mean, you have a lot of good starting stuff here. Owning things, that's so Gen X. I know, right? What do you mean, owning things? It's so funny because now I'm going through, like, my DVD collections and my Blu-ray collection. I realize everything just kind of stops at a certain point. Why are we getting no progress here? Oh, here we're suffering malaria. Ah, yeah. We don't share... Wait. Yeah. Okay. So we're not getting any progress there, that's fine. But we're getting it everywhere else. I have a few friends who already use Plex, but I haven't taken the time to see the options. I've been focusing on building up physical media again. I forgot how nice it is to read a physical book. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying out Jellyfin. I'm trying that one out. Alright, not quite... Yeah, let's go up from there. Ooh, yeah, our institutions are going to cost a lot now. Maybe we can... $85. Oof. Well, we can... We can start incorporating these guys, although I don't know if I want to incorporate there. But I won't start doing it yet because we need to increase this. We're going to lose 89 bureaucracy from it. Damn. Yeah, we'll hold off for right now. This actually confused me a bit last night. After you get 5 elections without interfering, you don't lose the electoral clientelism until the following election. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So you can do it 5 times, and then the following one, yeah, you don't get it. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember it. When I first saw it, I was like, sweet, now I can put anyone I want in power, but I didn't know about election confidence. Oh, yeah. You do have to be a little careful about that. All your legitimacy goes away. I was sitting there wondering why my legitimacy is so bad. I know. It kind of sneaks up on you a couple times. You're like, oh, I'll just manipulate this one election. And then the next one comes here, and I'm like, oh, I gotta manipulate this one. Then next thing you know, nobody trusts your elections anymore. Even if you just have digital copies of stuff online, it's better than losing something just because some exec at Netflix, yeah, or Amazon says so. I know. And then it's like I had purchased stuff on Apple for a period of time because I had all these Apple devices. And now that I'm moving off of Apple, I'm like, damn, you know? I mean, I can still use them, download the app and other stuff, but like, I want to own something again, you know? Hey, Mr. Lonely. Hello, hello. How are you? How are you planning to fight France and Great Britain when they come for your rubber? with hope. With hope. No, we've got a little bit of time because they're not fully coming for us until they get quinine. So we are going to start focusing a lot on military tech and stuff like that. But we've also started improving relations already. And the idea I have is I'm going to try to work one against the other. And generally, you know, I find France usually is the one who colonizes the most around here. So I'm hoping to get in good with Great Britain here. It looks like they're already off to being cautious. And we have protective here. Yeah, at some point we'll try to work one against the other. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. Yeah, we'll take some loyalists out of that because we could always use some right now. Representing his constituents in the armed forces, Yaqub Sayed Tal has issued a formal petition to the Sokoto government to pass capital fleet. No, I don't want to do that, my guy. I just don't. We can afford to lose approval from them. The legitimacy... Oh, yeah. So we're going to say no. That's a no from us, guys. I kept reading about people who acquired media digitally and then their service loses rights to it. Yeah. And their purchase just vanishes. There's like a big story about that with Sony and the PlayStation Network. Like, they lost the rights to some shows. I think it was like from like the Discovery bundle of stuff. Yeah, and so they lost all the shows they purchased. Like, it's just crazy. It's one of those things that's like, I've known about it for a while, and it's bugged me. And I finally just hit a point where I'm like, I'm done. If I'm buying things from now on, I'm buying the disc. Like just today. Today that movie Project Hail Mary came out on video. That's funny too, I call it video still. And I absolutely love that movie. I love the book, I love the movie. And so I was like, I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray for that, so I own it. It's the first Blu-ray I've purchased in quite a while. You had a major legitimacy crisis in an early Columbia run because I didn't realize I was taking a hit for it. Yeah. And like someone who definitely isn't me said, if buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. Yeah, that's kind of like the big saying now, right? So I've always been a little hesitant about this, though, because I do feel like, though, as much as we hate like the executives and stuff like that, piracy is also like, it does hurt the artists as well and their royalties and stuff like that. And there's a whole conversation to be had about the royalties that artists are owed. So I still am not fond of piracy, but I do think something that you purchased and you own a copy of, you should be able to digitize that and put it on your own like server and be able to stream it to your phone and stuff when you're away. So like I've created a media server, but I'm still not like, I'm only putting stuff on there that I've purchased. So I'm still not very fond of the whole piracy thing. But it is interesting. I mean, I think it is a valid point. Like, if you're going to say we don't own things anymore, then you don't really have a leg to stand on in order to demean piracy. You fought them with an Alt F4. Oh, nice. What does that do? Wonk, wonk, wonk. Hey, Don Leo Story. Hello, hello. Can I ask you one question, bro? Has Victoria 3 improved? Because I stopped playing it after the Navy patch. Oh, it has, yes. It has improved quite a bit from the initial release of that patch. Now, there's still some underlying issues. I mean, I would say the biggest issue is just that the AI generally doesn't use their Navy well enough. But in terms of bugs and things like that, a lot of that stuff got fixed up. So if you're asking me right now, how is the current state of the game? I think it's great. I mean, despite the issues that the 1.13 and the Great Wave had, it's added such a great dynamic to the game in that, like, building ships and building a navy is even more vital now because it's very much tied to trade and stuff like that. So I would say in general, yeah, they fixed up quite a bit of it. There's still more to go. And they announced that sometime late September or maybe early October, they're releasing a very big patch, or a big update, where they're revamping the entire AI of the game. Not just dealing with ships, but it sounds like just the whole game in and of itself in terms of AI. But yeah, a lot of it has been changed. Yeah, and I was frustrated because industrialists and intelligentsia were in the same party. And whenever I try manipulating elections and give intelligentsia some power, industrialists get it instead. Yeah. I think if the party leaders share the same ideology, they get all chummy with each other. and make a party together. That, yeah, they do. That's like the way that you can kind of group people together, or to break up a party. Like if you can get an agitator in and get them to become the leader of a party, or the leader of an interest group. If you want to get a certain interest group out of a certain party, that's the way to do it. The piracy at the individual level doesn't contribute to that as much as people think. The same royalties lost to individuals downloading it at home are lost to companies like GameStop selling used media. Yeah, I worked at GameStop and a secondhand bookstore called Half Price Books. Those businesses operate at an industrial scale, and no one points to them at being a problem for artists' residuals. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it is a good point, but I guess when it comes to piracy, it's not being done on such a large scale anymore. And I think, so I watched this video this weekend actually, which was really great. It was a video that was focusing on the rise of Steam and Gabe Newell and how like Steam basically like defeated piracy without even trying to. And there was this great line from Gabe Newell at the like beginning of Steam where he said the problem I want to make sure I get it right. He said piracy is a service issue. You have to create a service that is better than the piracy and more convenient than the piracy. And as Steam got better and people enjoyed using Steam, piracy went down. And it wasn't just about, you know, oh, I can download the game without having to go to the store. There's just so many other elements of Steam that made it more preferable to do than piracy. It got to a situation where pirating a game was much more work and not worth it, as opposed to getting it off Steam. But the video made a really interesting, it ended on a really interesting note where they're saying, we've now kind of come full circle where all these streaming services are like looking at Steam and they're like, oh yeah, we'll do the same thing. Like, but they looked at Steam as just a market front or a storefront. And now all of these streaming services have made using their services so expensive, and the service quality is so poor that a lot of people are going back to piracy. So I'm not a big fan of piracy in general, but I do feel like it's kind of like the entertainment business's own making at this current moment. Like, you know, we don't own anything. Everything's expensive. It's just like you have to have a million services in order to consume entertainment. So even if I'm not a big fan of it, I don't really condemn it. Because again, it's a service issue. You don't get it, Ham. If you not a 6-digit earner, the economy is not for you. That's true. That's true. Yeah. My digits are too low. I don't have enough digits. Never have. The fear of losing income and then rent, healthcare, etc. So you can't quit your job without losing your ability to support yourself, which is a killer. Yeah. Oh, hey! Speaking of which, Bizman, thank you. Thank you for this for the sub. 5 months. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, the fear of losing income and then rent, healthcare, etc. Yeah, so you can't quit your job without losing your ability to support yourself, which is a killer. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's not much freedom of employment at all, really. I mean, if they can't buy it, they will pirate it anyways. Yeah. Yeah. I think that... But I think what the point that this video made, which I thought was good, is they were using Steam as an example of if you provide a quality service, which makes things easier to get, which makes things a better quality, like it pointed to the fact that how Steam had like created a social network to gaming and made it much easier to get mods for your games, to keep your games up to date, to what were some of the other things they pointed out? They did like region specific like dynamic pricing so that like people, a game isn't an absolute price everywhere and people can afford it and things like that. And then you cut to like today, like Netflix is cracking down on password sharing and raising their prices and just putting a bunch of slop out there on their platform. It's like you've completely missed the point as to what made Steam something that brought down piracy in gaming. And so of course like piracy and entertainment is going up because we're all being nickel and dimed and we're suffering from enshittification. All right, so we're gonna... I want to do this. We'll do 2 construction sectors here. We're going to move this down the list. I really don't want to lose the progress we've already gotten on it, but I don't want to build it right now. So when we get these 2 construction sectors here, for now, we'll decrease 2 of them here. Yeah, commitment failed. It was meant to be. Oh, hey, DeWolfie, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Juice, hello, W Take. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it was coherent. I felt like for a second I was starting to ramble. Ah, nice. Lathes and dye workshops. The Sunni Ulema wish to strengthen our ties to Kabadugu through our shared faith. Oh yeah. If we can get off of Pious Fiction, I would love that. Oops. And we're not passing anything. There isn't really anything we can do at the moment. I really need... Yeah, we have a real issue here. I guess part of the problem is... Generally, I'm able to sell some stuff. But none of these things are being taken. So it's better to give them prices even a normal person can buy and get some profit out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I have this HP... I guess you can't really see the logo on. I have this HP printer. And I have been doing their, like, subscription service for paper and ink. Because, like, when I'm in the midst of a semester, I do a lot of printing at home here. There's not a lot of printing options at my college. You have to, like, submit it much too early for my responsibility in that. So I print a lot at home. But it's gotten to the point where it's... I was like, I want to get rid of subscription services. How much does it cost to just buy ink for this printer? And it's outrageously high. They've raised the cost of just buying ink on your own for the printer that you have to get their stupid subscription service. And now there's all these reports of how they can like brick your printer if you're not up to date on your subscription prices. So at the first chance I get, I'm ditching this printer for something else. Like everything is like this now. Everything is a damn subscription. And it's one of those things that's been going on for a while, and I think I finally reached my limit. I think I finally snapped on subscriptions. Oh, earlier comment about serfs. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, sorry. The thing that bothers me is the idea that serfs don't need to own things. They should be on the edge all the time. That's what locks them into their low-wage jobs. Yes! Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my god, yeah. That is such a great point. Yeah. Everything is a monthly cost. Like when you own something, you have one payment up front that you've invested in and then that's it. But instead, it's like all of this stuff builds up. You know, a one-time payment you can save up for and manage, but subscriptions are all kind of cutting into your monthly earnings. That, yeah, it makes your wages so much lower. Yeah, there's also some examples of companies using piracy data to see what's popular. Yeah, the same way they used to use TV viewership numbers, it's actually a net positive if it exposed the media to someone who otherwise wouldn't have seen it, because so much of the money made from media is ongoing income like merch, sequels, etc., not from the initial sale. Yeah, that's a great point too, because yeah, I'm also just tired of my data being sold and companies profiting off of it. Like, that's piracy too. I'm like, part of the reason I've switched to Linux here, I'm kind of like trying to decentralize as much as possible in my life. I'm tired of being pirated myself. I don't know, everybody. I think, of all things, I think the World Cup broke me. And I've had it. I've had it with everything. Hey, Pacavides, hello, hello. Finish Sokoto. Oh, man, that, you see? There's a good pun. Finish Sokoto. Oh, man. Missed opportunity right there. How you doing? Good to see you. How's it going? As a society, we need to grapple with what it actually means to own media. Both as a consumer and a producer. Yeah, we take it for granted, but rarely agree. And in reality, it's only a problem we've really had for the past 150 years or so. Yeah, especially with the ability to record music and video. If art is a process, not a product, how do you handle the product that's produced? What does it mean to own an idea? And does that leave space for collaboration, iteration, influence works, etc.? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then you add on top of that, all of these entertainment executives are trying to turn towards AI to create art, which is theft and piracy in and of itself, because that's all the AI is doing, is stealing other people's work. And then they turn around and complain about people pirating their pirated work. Your investment pool has no money to buy things with. Yeah, that's, you know, so here's the thing I always forget about and fall into the habit of. I see the absolute number, 369K. I'm like, they have enough money to buy an urban building. Yeah, I forget this money is kind of reserved to cover the cost of these two things. Ah, okay. We now have the ability to switch to agrarianism if we can. We can't. But I wish we had better access, or better oh, interesting. So these guys would start a modernization movement, even though they're authoritarians. Yeah, I'd love to get this guy in here. we should bomb HP with bad reviews. Yeah, I am so done with HP. They make such horrible products. I don't know why I bought their products for as long as I did. Oh boy. Oh man, I'm really falling behind on chat here. There are other ways to compensate artists than just commodifying their produced work. There's been solutions in the past, and we need to find new ones in an era when media is infinitely copyable. Yeah, I guess it's just like, as a playwright myself, I remember I had this discussion, or I was in this discussion with somebody one time. Somebody was talking about this article that had been released about how playwrights are not, you know, getting paid enough from their productions. And this person went off about how, like, anybody who's a playwright should not be concerned with money. If you're writing plays to earn money, then you shouldn't do it. You should just be doing it for the love of art. And I hate stuff like that so much. I hate stuff like that so much, because an artist should be paid for their work. First of all, if you don't pay artists for their work, what you're going to get is somebody who does it as a hobby, which means somebody that cannot dedicate all of their time to it. If you want like a professional artist, you need to pay them for their work. So at a base, I have a general problem with artists not being paid. And so that is where my one sticking point is. But there's a lot of nuance to this because of how entertainment is stacked up against the artist. Because, like, yeah, when you buy the work itself, that money doesn't always necessarily funnel over to the artist. Like, especially when you start talking about the music industry, right? Definitely see earlier comment about serfs. Yeah. All right, we are at the hour mark here. So I do need to take a quick 90-second break here, because we're about to get hit by ads, so we gotta pay homage to the gods of ads, speaking of everything we're talking about here. But yeah, 90 seconds and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And we're back. All right, let me catch up here. I'm like majorly behind. My printer for brother working for like 15 years with cheap third-party ink. Yeah, I was actually doing some research today on printers. Oh wait, first of all, hey, hello Neptune. How are you? Sorry, reading your comment without saying hello. Yeah, brother was one of the big ones that was listed as these are the ones that are going to last you a long time. You can use third-party ink. Yeah, I'm actually that's probably gonna be one of probably the next one I get. If your services don't justify your prices and piracy gives people better service, then these companies are basically doing promotion for piracy. Yeah. Yeah, like that's I think the point that video that I was talking about was making, that you're creating the market for piracy in that sense. Oh, not sure if you caught my earlier comment about intellectual property. Oh, own an idea. Wait. Really, especially with the ability to record music. If art is a process, not a product, how do you handle the product that's produced? What does it mean to own an idea? And does that leave space for collaboration, iteration, influence works, etc.? Well, no, you can't own an idea. But what you own is the art that you created, and art is more than an idea. Art is the execution of an idea, and what you own, especially as an artist, is the execution of that idea into whatever medium you've created it as. They're on cheap Chinese printers. I don't know. I'm about to, the next week or two, I'll be diving into some research into it. Maybe there are. Subscription means you can't accumulate wealth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like kind of, yeah, going back to your serfdom comment. I do. Yeah. I do own an HP printer, and I'm tired of it, and I'm absolutely tired of it. Pokemon games, I think, show the link between media ownership and piracy. If people could own the older games, they probably would, but because of the difficulty to acquire the media, people pirate. Yeah, I guess if something's not available anymore, something's out of print or something like that, that is definitely a different situation, which I have a much softer view on. Did you switch to Linux? I did, yeah, very recently. I'm now exclusively on Linux here. So we're streaming right now on Linux. I regret buying it every time I look at it and think of what godforsaken time I had. I had this thought of buying this trash. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so tired. They work so poorly. I don't know why, like, I bought another HP one. Your internet activities is generated by you. Why don't you own it? Yeah, outside of the EU. Exactly. I'm like, that's one of the things I'm kind of fed up on. That's why I'm trying to go like decentralized and everything. Like my phone, I'm trying to find the next one to be one that has like a decentralized OS and all of that. You silly ham is only steal if you don't have a license for it. Yeah, this is true. I think Valve is a great example of how piracy is a symptom of poor ownership availability rather than just a handcuff to internet use. Yeah, I gotta find that video I watched this weekend and post it in the ham court. I thought it was such a great, well done video where they basically use Steam as the example of, if you want to stop piracy, like, do better by your customer. I did the mistake of subscribing to my glasses. Will not even be allowed to keep the ones I've got if I cancel it. Oh. Wait, for real? See, that I don't even know if that's real or not. Like, we're in such a crazy time. Everything is a subscription. I don't know if that's a joke or not. It very well could be real. Now I only use it as a scanner to scan documents. Yeah, I know. I use it as a scanner quite often too because of all my for classes. If AI companies can get away with stealing all available content from the internet, then I see nothing wrong with watching a pirated Hollywood movie. I think that is an excellent point. See, that's the problem. All these major companies want to still rally against piracy like they've been doing for so long, and yet they're all actively engaging in it now. It's kind of undercut any argument they've had for it, which is why I'm kind of I'm kind of split about it. Something that helps take the edge off for me is something I heard not long ago. Everywhere you look, binaries are giving ways to spectrums. We're experiencing the death of monoculture. A lot of the issues, like the piracy IP crisis, are the owner class flailing to hold on to power, yeah, as the floor splits from under them. That has a lot of downstream effects on workers who actually produce things, but we can also use it to find our own alternatives outside of the control of the owners. Yeah, yeah. I guess I do, though, really feel like how, in the end, though, do artists get paid for their work? You know, like if something is majorly pirated, yes, the rich producer executive gets less money, but so does the artist. And so where is there the I get wanting to stick it to that rich person who made the service and as shitty as possible, but we also can't at the same time throw the artist under the bus, because basically then we're not valuing art in that way. This game quickly teaches the absolute numbers of something is not the real situation. Especially in economics, you do much better once you do debt spending while having low loans, for example. Absolute numbers of something is not the real situation. Yeah. Okay. We can also use it to find our own alternatives outside of the control of the owners. Yeah. Yeah, but again, there's a lot of people involved there, you know? Ooh, I'm trying to stay at it here. Yeah, can you eat the love of art? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's kind of a joke in like the indie theater scene where like you never get paid for your work, and whenever like you're in a festival, you're like, oh, well, what do I get from doing this? And they're like, you get exposure. We like the festival charges ticket prices. They're like, well, this is just offsetting the cost to do the festival. You get exposure. People will see your work. And so there's a joke that it's like, oh, I'm getting paid in exposure bucks. All the work I did to create this art, I'm getting paid in exposure bucks. And so I do kind of like, I find it hard to reconcile that. But I am a lot more sympathetic to the world of piracy than I was in the past. I will say that. All right, let's get some dye plantations going so that we can get... Yeah, we can get some more clothing made out of that. And go to lathe here. Although, I don't know, do we have... No, we only have the one. Okay. So let's do that. Clothes, or furniture is a little bit more affordable. Paper's expensive. Wood's expensive. So, oh wait. Well, hold on. We're not fully hired here. We'll wait on that. Getting the Atmo engine. Alright, we're gonna add urban planning to the list. And then law enforcement. We're not gonna add any more universities at the moment. We do need to be mindful of infrastructure. We got a ton here. We got a little bit here. All right. So let's start utilizing our clippers. Let's stop subventing them. And then we're gonna do some ships. We're not gonna... I don't think we can really do anything here. Oh, actually, no, we can. We can do this. We have the grain. So we'll do that. We'll start with 3. Oh, yeah, that's right. We do need, we do need an artillery foundry. Alright, let's do this. And then we'll go from here. Wait, do we have dye? Do we have dye? They're gonna build some for us. Alright, so never mind that. Do we have lead anywhere? Where do we have lead? Nigeria and Sokoto, Niger. Damn. Where's... what? In Nigeria. Oh, we've got the 2 construction sectors going. So we're gonna cut back here. Nice. And now we got some infrastructure to work there. Alright, we'll continue with this for now. Artist got a E2, and this artist should do it for free, or just a cover for them wanting shit for free. See, yeah, see that... when someone is like, artists should do it for the love of art, I'm just like... I hate that. I hate that so much. I definitely sympathize with your point. It's asinine. Yeah, to think artists shouldn't be paid at an economic level. Basically, anyone who doesn't do labor to produce necessary goods is exempt from such labor. But we can definitively do that because we can produce much more than we need with only a fraction of the people. We should find the people who make things that make life better, like art, and give them the freedom to pursue it. Yeah. More people should have that freedom, not less. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, is that's the thing, like, I make that point, but also at the same time, artists aren't being paid well for their art. Even if piracy went away, artists are still not being paid well for their art. So even that kind of undermines the argument there. I know it has some issues, but that's why I like services like Patreon. Yeah. What dominates now is ad-based patronage. In the past, before it was advertising, it was nobles and aristocrats who had pet artists, but we have the capacity to have community patronage now. Yeah, where people can be paid steadily to do the work they want to do instead of getting paid on a per unit basis that way. I like that term, community patronage. It sounds a little bit different that way. I pirate a lot, mainly because I live in Argentina, but we're reaching such a high level of competition in the market that it's impossible to keep up. It's crazy to expect someone to be subscribed to every streaming service. Yeah, the whole streaming situation, I think, is what's created this dynamic. Again, going back to that Gabe Newell quote, like, piracy is a service issue. Make the service better and make the service better than the piracy. And streaming services have just undercut that completely. Hey, Proferent, hello. How are you? Oh my god, I'm sorry, like 10 minutes late on that. Yeah, I'm like, I'm so far behind here. I'm sorry. I have a 3-ish-year-old brother printer, and it won't... Oh, and it won't let me use third-party ink. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. See, I got to do a little bit more research on all this. Printers are something I never really thought about. I just got a printer, didn't think about it. And now I realize I'm getting screwed on it. Did you have problems with OBS? I heard that Linux is complicated with OBS streaming. So, yes and no. Linux, or OBS itself works very well with OBS. What was complicated is multi-streaming. So I was using SE Live to multi-stream, and they don't make a Linux port, so I couldn't use that. Atom, the Atom suite is supposed to let you multi-stream. I loaded it in, and it looks kind of cool, but every time you hit the live tab, it crashes OBS. So I couldn't use that. So I ended up finding a different plugin that worked. So setting up my multi-stream service with OBS was a little complicated. I think OBS itself works well. But finding a good... Not all the plugins for OBS work well, I guess I would say. Doesn't playing Steam games on Linux give you a long loading shade screen before playing every game? No, I haven't encountered that at all. You can see there's something that pops up that says, like, it's doing something with Proton, but the loading time is pretty much the same. That's one of the things I was, like, floored by, how good gaming is on Linux. There's more games that work on this Linux system than do on my Mac. It's much easier. Like on my Mac, games that are Windows only, I can't even download them. On Linux here, all the games you can download and play them. Now I've heard if you do like online multiplayer for AAA games, because of the like anti-cheat stuff, it doesn't work. But I don't play any of those games, so yeah, everything I've played so far has worked really well. That's very real about my glasses. Oh my god. See, that's insane. That is insane. The whole subscription model for everything is insane. I cannot believe that. It sounds comical, right? Like, that's why I'm like, is that real? Like, that can't be real, but, you know, obviously, yep, very real. All right, we're gonna, oh yeah, I guess we gotta wait till we get the artillery foundry in order to add that to the list. And all this is why I call myself a Luddite. Yeah, can't stand all these techno-fascists. Yeah, I get it now. I don't think I really understood the Luddites for a long time. I mean, I got it, what it was about, but I was like, I don't know about that. And more, I'm just like, yeah, they had a point. They have a point. Can you flash your printer with new software? There's probably alternatives out there. Possibly. I'd rather just get rid of the whole HP machine anyway, like just at all. But maybe, yeah, maybe I can just flash the printer. I don't know. Artist has to bring their art direct to the market. Yeah, but even that is... Oh, wait, artists... Oh, you're asking. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, in all facets, right? I mean, there's many ways to do it now. In theater world, it's a little bit more difficult. But I guess in the world of music, the world of entertainment, or like movies and TV, I guess, it's still very, very difficult, though. I would go medieval with services. Hey, new law in the city. If your product is wrongly sold as a service, shall work on the coal mine double time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. It's so funny because, like, so I've never paid for cable in my life. Like, when I finally, like, moved out on my own, I just, like, I went with an antenna. And then when streaming services really started up, I just went with streaming. And I was always like, oh, the streaming stuff is so great. I'm never paying a cable company. I hate cable companies. And now I'm like, God, somehow the streaming services became worse than the cable company. This is why we need to avoid the crappy term creator. Yeah. I'll pay for a movie, but Chris Nolan is an artist. Yeah. Asmongold is an online asshole. I don't even know who that is. They are not the same, despite the fact they're both called creators. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. The term creator just sounds... I think it was Christopher Nolan, too, who said he hates the term content. Because all these companies are looking for content. Oh, you know, I forgot. I can't build artillery because we haven't discovered artillery yet. Wait, unlocks cannons. So wait, what are we making? Wait, what? See, I've never had to research this before. Unlocks the production method cannons in the artillery foundry. But clearly we already have it. It's kind of strange. You need to fix your tax deficit. Yeah, I know. We need to do something. What I could really use is to get off of hereditary bureaucrats. All right, we're going to slow down for a second here. I've got to figure out our political situation. I've kind of let this go for longer than I should. We can't get an agitator in because we're on closed borders. We can't get the intelligentsia in government. Oh. Here we go. Now this would do wonders for our budget. And it would lower the strength of the aristocrats. But if we were able to do this, that would do a lot for us. All right, let's go for the budget first. Let's go for the budget first. We'll go appointed bureaucrats. Because this will also give political strength to the intelligentsia. Alright, so let's go for it. Armed forces will negotiate. Yaqub Saib Tal has agreed to a private meeting, clearly seeking a path that will benefit both the nation and the armed forces' interests over appointed bureaucrats. Yeah, we'll commit to increasing the size of the army. Oh, man. Or increase standard of living by 0.5. It just feels so bad to not take this. But we're going to be increasing the military anyway. So we'll take that. Alright, so this gives us a little bit of a way forward. Something we all need to do are getting a DVD player just so we can collect our favorite movies while it's still possible. Yeah, Absolutely. That was one. Oh, that was one of the other things that got me wanting to start my own media server. So like my game console has been my DVD and Blu-ray player for like pretty much my whole life. I don't think I've ever owned like just a separate DVD player before. So the fact that both Xbox and PlayStation announced they're getting rid of the disc drive, I was like, screw this. I think I'm kind of done with Xbox and PlayStation too. I think from now on, I'm just going to build my own game console and run SteamOS on it. And I kind of want to build a game console that has a disc drive in it, just because. Like, I can't believe, like, Sony, the person who got rid of the content people bought on their own network, is now on top of that getting rid of the disc drive. Like, it's just, you know. And once again, you know, that hurts artists too. Because they're going to own the distribution of it in a way that I don't think is good for artists. Art is one of those markets with huge range of production value. Yeah. Yeah. It's true too. And I think that's also kind of part of the problem. No, I don't want to say the problem, but it's like when you look at YouTube, right? You have people doing like massive budget productions, and you have people who like are doing AI slop that they spent all of like 10 minutes creating, you know? Hey, new Joe. Did I say hi to you yet already? I feel like I did, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm getting like the morning stream and this stream kind of all jumbled up in my head. That's a fair point. The sheer quantity of streaming services has made piracy look appealing again. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not like this came out of nowhere. It's a reaction against the enshittification of our entertainment. And so in that respect, I sympathize, because I feel it too, you know? It is a reaction to what's happening. Do you have enough ink to scan that document? Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it all started for me too when all of these printers started saying like, I need color ink in order to print a black and white Word document. Don't know what was with mine then. Had to wait 30 minutes for a loading shade screen for Proteon, even on simple games. Was it every time you loaded into it? Because I know a lot of times the first time you load something, you'll wait quite a bit. Like whenever Vicky 3 has an update, I have to wait a little bit for shaders and stuff. In my case, Linux tends to run better. The Victoria 3 runs significantly better on Linux. Yeah, the only game that has noticeable worse performance... Oh, In the Penguin is CK3 for me. Oh, interesting. I haven't loaded up CK3 yet. I'll have to give that a try. Hey, Kocho, hello, hello. How are you? How did you even make money with food industries? Well, so once you... It's kind of twofold. Once you introduce the product to the market, eventually a demand for it will start. As we start to raise standard of living, people will want better goods in their basic needs basket. So as we start creating better jobs for people, as we start depeasanting more and the standard of living starts going up, there will be more of a demand for food industries. And then eventually, you know, we'll start using it as a mobilization option in the military here. An affair between Kanaji Agalawa and Jakob Sayedtal's spouse has reached our ears, threatening to affect his public image if we don't destitute the general. So, this is our one moderate landowner. He's not particularly a good general. Who do we have in the pipeline that could replace this guy? Oop, not that button. So we have an authoritarian and a slaver. Great. Well, this guy has +5 offense. You know, this open terrain commander is pretty good. But, you know, we're at a point where we really can't be adding any more landowner. Yeah, you know, getting rid of this guy is probably the best thing to do. So he'll step down. Jakob side so I'll get syphilis. So let's do that. We'll add this guy in. Can't wait for Valve to release the desktop version of Steam OS, also Linux-based. Yeah, well, I've heard... So I haven't tried out Steam OS itself, but I've heard there is a... Oh, law progressive consideration. There is like a desktop interface in Steam OS. I've heard it's not, you know, the best. It's very limited. But apparently, there's a file system and a desktop stuff, so you can run your computer on Steam OS and not be in like big picture mode. That's what I've heard. I haven't tried it myself. Books too, yeah. Books are a whole other thing too, right? Which in all the same ways that we've been talking about, like publishers are not doing well by authors, and you can self-publish, but then yeah, like when you go into the self-publishing world, it's kind of like a free-for-all as to like quality. Read the glasses thing. Isn't that basically the premise of Repo? Yeah, the genetic opera. That people will come reclaim your organs if you miss a payment. Cyberpunk is AF. Yeah. Yeah, that's the world we're in. Unfortunately. I pay for YouTube TV, but then I can share that with 4 other separate accounts of my family. Yeah. Thank God for that, because my brother pays for YouTube TV, and he added me in on his family plan for that. So I have YouTube TV, but I don't pay YouTube for it. But I do appreciate it. As frustrated as I get for paying for a service and still having to watch ads, it's basically just full circle back to cable again. That's the thing too. When all of there was like another jump, or another step in this whole process, when all of these streaming services started adding ads into something that I'm paying for. Like if I have to sit and watch ads, don't charge me money. Vicky 3 taught me that paper makes things go burr. It's true. It's true. All right, so we're about to finish that. You know, ooh. Okay, I hate to say it, but yeah, we just can't afford to build this. I don't want to lose the progress. We have a decent budget going. We just need a lot more. Okay. We're just gonna go nuts on wood. And how are the shipyards doing? You know, we're also gonna need to wait. Oh, can we not build a naval administration just because we don't have any actual ships done yet? Oh, and we should have the dye workshop now. We do. So let's get These guys all on dye workshops. Ah, and we should be able to go to regular trading, because now we can create more of a demand for merchant marines, and the ports can now get clippers. Oh yes, let's go to a cargo port. Yeah, we're at a cargo port here. So we're almost at the Atmo engine. Actually, how many people do we have here? 124k, 44k. Next, let's build a coal mine here. Just get some more tooling going. Oh, wait. The civil service, currently led by the landowners, are deliberately stalling the government by creating unnecessary paperwork. They demand that their jobs be protected under appointed bureaucrats. So we could add preserved bureaucratic class. Yeah, we don't want to add political strength to the landowners on this. We'll lose 15% success chance. We take a setback and we gain 5. I think we'll do that. We're in the consideration phase. Yeah, closed borders, no agitators. Unfortunately, we have, at the moment, no real avenue to counter it. Yeah, this is just from the past checkpoint. We don't actually have anybody in government who will support this yet, but we're working on it. We're you know. Has anybody else? Nah, yeah, we still don't have any other people unmarginalized. You need to stop listening to us and play the game. We're all supposed to be here to watch. What a crazy idea. Yeah. But I appreciate it, though. Stick it to the aristocrats. Yeah. I try. I think the best you can do is promote political movements until an agitator spawns. So that's the problem, though, is that we have no... We don't really have any movements that are going to help us. All of our movements kind of suck. I also don't want to get radicals from these political movements. But if I take off one of these suppressions... I think we'll stop suppressing these guys. I can deal with the Sunni traditionalist movement. The absolutist and the slavery movement will be tough. So we'll stop suppressing these guys. Yeah. Speaking of ads, got some ads for the Church of Latter-day Saints, and it was extremely weird for someone coming from a secularized country like Sweden. Absolute culture shock. Law change in Muslim nation seems extra hard. You know, it's not even really the Sunni dilemma. It's just that the landowners have this 56% hold on the country. And add on top of that, everyone else is just kind of marginalized. But this will be a bit of a turn here. Now that we've gotten the intelligentsia in, we can get a couple laws changed. So we start with changing hereditary bureaucrats. When that's done, we will God, you know, it used to be serfdom gave the landowners plus 50% political strength. So even getting to tenant farmers lowered their political strength gain. Now, not so much. We're really just going to have to go for peasant proprietorship after this. Hey, Kooptex, hello, hello. Why are you playing 3 fast mode? That's so slow, I think. Oh, man. That's my favorite speed of the game. I don't like to play on 5 speed. There's so much that happens in this game that playing on speed 5, I feel like you kind of miss it. There's just a lot to do in terms of, like, your society and everything else going on. 5 speed, I mean, there are times where you just need to get through a build queue before you can really do something. So I'll go to 4 or 5 for that. But general playing, I like speed 3. I'll make my own console with blackjack and hookers. Nice. Nice. Part of nickel and dime practices are to reduce any and all costs. Yeah. Like the physical media. They will promote disk drives as redundant. Yeah, see. I think the problem is, like, disk drives represent owning something. You might have, I got a call in between. I might have what? In keeping with my handle, catch me in a basement ripping streamed movies onto VHS tapes. Oh, yeah. I have a little bit more sympathy. I have more sympathy for that now, given the state of things. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of appointed bureaucrats by Usman Dan Fodio has quickly devolved into a public relations disaster for the intelligentsia. Yeah, okay. So we got a dangerous game we're playing here. We'll take the setback. We'll get an added 10%, but we're going to have 2 setbacks here. So there is that. All right, we're colonizing fairly well here. Tempted to take this one too, because we'll start colonizing up this way. Yeah, we will do that because we're going to be battling, yeah, Denmark. I suppose I could have just tried to take the Ashanti, though. Oh, yeah, look at our... Alright, look at our infamy. I would really like to take Dahomey. It's stake a colonial claim, or we just go after them. Denmark will join in. Damn. It would be nice if Denmark joined in, because... But we won't be able to get here. Or there. Can we get military access from these guys? Because I don't think Denmark... Like, what's their ship situation? Oh. They have 14. But they can... Yeah, they can only transfer 6 troops. And they have no they have no sailors. I think we're going to go for Dahomey, but I'm going to try to get... See, the problem is, if I gave them obligations, we're not going to be able to take them over. How much money would we have to give you to smooth this over? And we can't go after the Ashanti. Okay, we could go after Borgu. We'll go after Borgu. If Dahomey and the Ashanti join in, yeah, they're not going to. Where's Ashanti? Let's see. Oh, they're there. They might. Because if we take them, then we can go after the Ashanti or Dahomey. You know, we could also, if we did this, we could violate the Ashanti's sovereignty and go after Denmark if they joined in against us. All right, let's do that. So let's go after these guys. Let's take a save, actually. Just because, you know, it's always good to save your game while you play. We actually haven't saved it yet. These guys have, like, no battalions. Alright. So let's activate the main army. You guys go there. That's all we'll activate for now. Yeah, food industry requires a certain base wealth for your pops. At some point, even your lower strata want luxury clothes and furniture. Yeah. But as I read it, they're working towards making it a fully fledged desktop OS. So it's probably coming. Yeah, yeah. So probably worth waiting, right? Oop. I don't know. I think Bazite has been working really well for me. And Bazite has it comes with Steam when you install it. I guess that's not as much of a a benefit. Steam is a free program anyway. But in terms of like a gaming distro, so far Bazite has been working well for me. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. Yeah, we'll take this and get a little bit more loyalists added in. Don't say that on a video streaming on YouTube. They'll nuke you from orbit. I know, right? Oh, hey, Jabba, what's up? What's up, my friend? How you doing? Big Sokoto. Oh, man, I'm sorry. As you can see, I'm very far behind on chat. I think it says you came in like 15 minutes ago. Well, I apologize, my friend. How are you? Good to see you. The armed forces are dissatisfied with the inclusion of the intelligentsia in the Sokoto government. Yeah, well, you know what? Too bad, guys. We worked too hard for this to get them in there. Yeah, we can afford to have them lose to approval right now. Nobody else has joined in. This game is about going nuts on wood. Yeah, it's so true. Especially now with all the shipbuilding. You need much more. Although it is, you know, it's interesting though, because there comes a point mid-game where you start using much less wood. I think that's part of what caused so much inflation in my Columbia run. I was only occasionally making buildings like food industries, but my tooling company has trade rights, and they've been building a ton of trade centers, which are importing a bunch of goods, creating more demand for them. Yeah. Yeah, I tend to sometimes not pay enough attention to the staple goods here. Like, especially like textiles and furniture, which can be very profitable early game. So I'm trying to keep a mental note on that. Borders closed. Damn, yeah, can't import some radical from Europe. I know. I know. Open borders would be a very helpful thing right now if we could get somebody. But basically, these laws we're doing now will chip away at the landowner's political strength and hopefully, you know, get to a point where we can start doing that. Yeah, playing at speed 5 feels really stressful. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Not, doesn't work for me too much. But, you know, everyone has their own speed settings. It's interesting. Or preferences, I mean. Speed 3 is fast. I was thinking about dropping down to 2 in Columbia. I'm hitting the mid game and it's coming at me quick. Yeah. Well, there's just so many, there's so many mechanics in the game that I think sometimes it can, you can let some of the mechanics go by the wayside very easily, at least for me. I think that's the thing. My brain just doesn't work fast enough for speed 5. Like when I record starting steps videos, I go at speed 5 in between events. But I feel like in the end I'm pausing constantly to reset. So in the end I should just be on speed 3. So even when I play on speed 5, it's like a net balance to speed 3. So nobody joined in on this, I guess, which is good and bad. If somebody joined in, we could have taken more, but... I think it's time to conquer again. Now you have low infamy before you get surrounded. Yeah, if I had, if I was so far behind on chat, I would have seen that much sooner. The other day I was coming back from college and I saw a big old building, a Latter-day Saint church in the middle of Buenos Aires. Oh man, which means there's some brown kid out there who thinks a guy named Joseph Smith is his savior. I really can't understand why this is catching on here. I didn't realize that. Really, it's catching on in Argentina. That is fascinating. I had a friend in college who was ex-Mormon. And he had talked about how when he was like 18, he went on like mission to Portugal and like converted people. And then like a few years later, they had a falling out with the church and his mom came in like, we're not Mormon anymore. And he's like, what? How can we not be Mormon? And the thing that always got me is he was like, there are people in Portugal right now who are Mormon because of me. How could we not be Mormon anymore? I was like, that is crazy. That mint green looks really good. You're spreading Linux to the masses. Yes, yes. Someday I'll create my own distro. Ham dis. Or distro cuts. That's what I'll call it, distro cuts. Hey, did you ever play the older game, Europe Universalis Rome, not Imperator? Oh, no, I don't know that one. Europe Universalis Rome. Wow, wow, wow. No, I don't know about that one. Not sure if you have sulfur, but I know Dahomey or the state to the west of it, Togo, I think. It's quite a few sulfur mines. I usually go for it when I play Congo. We do have sulfur. I don't remember how much. Yeah, so we have a little bit. A little bit. Oh, yeah, look at that. We have a little sliver of Togo, so the more we can take, the more sulfur we'll get. Just over 10 centuries to colonize some places. We're going to be there when we finish setting the Orion ring in the galaxy. Someday. Oh, it came out in 2009 or so. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna look that up when we're done here. We're on to coal. Excellent. Just in time. We have 10 weeks to go on the Atmo engine. So that'll be good. I am keeping an eye on the commitment over here. Maybe when we're done with this, we'll start expanding the military a little bit. So now, what if we went after these guys? Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to stake a colonial claim here. On Togo. Which one is there? Yeah. Because then we'll get much less infamy to take it. And then Dahomey will annex. Ooh, and the Ashanti will join in. What's their military like? Ooh, whoa. Okay. I mean, we outnumber them, but... Oh, the Borgu army, let's delete that. We outnumber them, but damn. That would be a bit of a fight. And what is their army like? So, all irregular, just like us. Okay. I'm not surprised they're in Argentina with how heavily they invest in mission work. And we're already way past you here. We've moved on to Scientology. It's a weird pseudo-religion for people to join. I know, right? That's what Mormonism used to be that here, and then Scientology was like, hold my beer. Warning though, Paradox games were funkier than versus how now in terms of usability and such. Yeah, I think it's like before they went public, right? Though you were going, we are not Mormons because there are Argentinian Mormons. Oh, thought you were going, we are not Mormons because there are Argentinian Mormons. Yeah. Oh, alright, we're at the 2-hour mark. I'm almost caught up on chat here, look at that. Count that as a win-win. But we are about to get hit by ads, so we do have to take a quick 90-second break and pay homage to our gods of ads here. So, 90 seconds, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back. The other day I was watching an interview with Rhett McLaughlin, who's apparently a former Christian. I don't know if he was evangelical but definitely Protestant. It blew my mind that there are Christians in the middle of the West who believe that evolution or dinosaurs are a lie. Oh, yeah, I know, there are. Coming from a Catholic country and high school, it's impossible for me to understand how anyone can think like that. It's kind of scary, yeah, that people think, yeah, like dinosaurs are a lie. Yeah, games in general also underwent a usability trend. Yeah. Yeah, now, man, now I want to check this out. I really want to find that game. Christian, oh wait. I think I posted twice. The other day I was watching an interview. Oh, was cut from the former message. Oh, was it? Oh, see, yeah, it showed up on my end. Stream Elements deleted it. That's fascinating. I wonder why. Yeah. Police bot. Alright. Let's get it going. I can sympathize with the ex-Mormon guy you were talking about. I've had a pretty drastic shift leftwards over the course of my life, but in my 20s, I was in a handful of debates where I convinced... Oh, hold on, we got the Atmo engine now. We don't have our first coal mine yet, though, so we're gonna, in 9 weeks, we'll be able to do that. I guess I have to decide here. So if we go after Dahomey, the Ashanti and Denmark will probably join in, which should probably be fine. I do feel like, though, it is now a moment to take pause for a second, because the Ashanti are somewhat relevant here. They have a possibility of 32 battalions. We have 57. Dahomey has, like, not a lot. Denmark obviously has some people, but they don't... Oh no, they don't even have... Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah. Alright, let's take a save, huh? It's always good to save your games. Yo, Intelligentsia is now in the green. Yeah, look at that. So, some society research. Man, unfortunately, I would love to move some society stuff up, but... Well, we are also getting, yeah, military research speed, so we could use that as well. We'll go after Dahomey. And then we'll see if the Ashanti want to join in on that. Oh my god, for a second I was like, are they just gonna concede? Oh, and now we should be able to build our... Oh, you know, I haven't looked at... Oh my god, we can build ships, but we can't even hire sailors yet. Thank god we're getting tech spread on Admiralty. That's crazy. Okay. I haven't played a country that hasn't started with that since 1.13 came out. I hadn't noticed that. Quite a few people to get on board with some pro-gun arguments I don't really agree with anymore. Words have power, and we can't always undo the influence we have. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting more and more left as I get older. Our efforts to pass the appointed bureaucrats' law have run into several classic bureaucratic hurdles. Debates rage around such lofty matters as the correct shape of filing cabinets. Yeah, we'll take... You know what? I don't want to lose the bureaucracy. In fact, let's gain some. We'll get success chance. It'll take a little bit longer, but that's okay. Police bot. Yeah, I know. It sounds like it, right? Oh, maybe the message being too long. Maybe, yeah. How did you start to crack the landowner's yoke? So I think the main thing is that I got some universities early on. We also went to secular administration, which hires more bureaucrats. Same thing with those universities, secular academia, which hires more academics. And the bureaucrats are intelligentsia and the academics are intelligentsia. So both of those buildings alike cracked it. We also started adding a lot more government admin buildings. So we basically just have a lot more intelligentsia pops hired into buildings, which has helped. Wow, nobody's getting involved in this, huh? Even Denmark. I don't really want to get involved over there yet. Oh, actually... Yeah, we can... Actually, no, we should go out this way. It's these that I don't want to do yet. Wow, okay, so nobody's gonna get involved here. The homie. Deshanti. I know. Deshanti. That's a wild gang over there. I know. I know, every time I see Ashanti, I still think of this the singer. Which is funny, I know she was named after, like, the Ashanti tribe. Or not named after, that's why she took that name. But still, even to this day, I'm like, oh, Ashanti. Remember Ashanti? I sent Dahomey is coincidentally so close to the slang Dahomey. I know. Sorry, nerds. I know you're excited for some universities, but we need railways first. Yeah, we really do, actually. We really do, because we only have one state with iron, and we can't put any more there. Oh, we do, though. We have our coal mine. So, in the iron mines, let's go to the Atmo engine. So, we have the iron. Now, in all of the tooling, yeah, let's go to wrought iron tools now. Let's also go to gas streetlights. Make the coal more profitable. And we are expanding out in all directions. Oh, actually, I should be going this way. You know, I forgot, we have borders all over here. I mean, all of this is going to go slow as hell, but I want to be able to get a foothold in all of them. I haven't stopped getting into political discussions as my views have changed, obviously. But I have changed my approach quite a bit, and I pick my battles more carefully now. Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's exactly how I am. I still get into political debates. But yeah, I'm much more selective with it now, especially online. I don't do a lot of political debates on social media as much anymore. Unless it is actually truly worth it. If we could go per capita taxation, that would be nice. Ah, Russia. Oh, here we go. Mechanical tools, excellent. So now we're going for railways. Actually, you know, let's improve with Russia. Power block embassy. I'm sorry, guys. Not with a sovereign empire. I thought you were supposed to get more conservative as you age. Exterior conditions must be truly horrible. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like... Everybody always says they get more conservative with age. I feel like I'm going more left. Which is funny because, like, I always consider myself, like, a very left-leaning person. And I'm like, I had no idea. Basically, you put money into intelligentsia class. Yeah. Because, yeah, I did, basically. And wealth is one of the biggest, like, contributing factors to political power. Yeah, like, you can see average wealth of the intelligentsia is 23.1. So that's given them a lot of political power. And so, if we can go to peasant proprietorship, we'll get a lot of farmers who will now own a lot of these buildings. And we'll probably get the rural folk on the board, so that'll give us someone else to work with. Alright, we can finally hire people in our ships. Though no one's qualified. Maybe it's about time I just finished this off. Ashanti must know what's coming for them. I know, right? They're like, guys, has anybody been watching this over here? You know, we also need to start, we also really need to start incorporating places. But we really do then need to add more paper. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't realize we go to sulfite pulping now. Hold on. Yes, do that right now. Do that before everything else. Not even landowners would dare to mess with bureaucrats. Yeah, exactly. They know. They know the writings on the wall. Almost 100k days for one of your colonies. We gotta finish when the whole Milky Way is colonized. Yeah. Nah, as we get some tech, it'll increase it. Also, the more population we have. See, we need to... So... colonization growth generates from your incorporated population. So right now it's pretty low because we haven't incorporated enough yet. So getting these government admins will let us start incorporating more of these states. As they incorporate, these estimations here will get significantly less. Do moving political groups into opposition make them lose power faster if they are losing? No, it doesn't. They don't lose power based on where they are here. They lose approval based on where they are. They on this side, in government or in opposition. What happens is they don't lose political clout. Basically, the idea is if they have a lot of clout and you move them out of government, you lose legitimacy. So that's kind of how that works. You know, we haven't looked at our heir. Oh, he's well, he's traditionalist, but he's about to kick the bucket. Both these guys are. To outside observers, the intelligentsia may appear firmly committed to the idea of appointed bureaucrats, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. Well, damn. Two years of 900 government expenses. Yeah, we'll take it. I mean, we're going to have to. I mean, yeah, we'll take it, because if this passes, actually, we're going to get a lot more of these unrealized taxes back. Russian Scandinavia. Whoa! What the hell happened up here? Look at that Swedish flag. DeWolfie, I'm sorry, my friend. How the hell did this happen? Oh my god. Well, good thing Russia likes us. Oh, are you getting pinged again? You know, it might be the length of it. Yeah, that might be it. Though I thought it's supposed to give me the option to let it go. It's not. You should be much less controversial. Yeah. Yeah, government. Oh, yeah, yeah. Our government stability is not good because of the intelligentsia. But we're just going to have to suffer through that. Because we need it. And, you know, it will... Oh, look. We've gained enough land that the name of our country has moved sideways. But the laws we're doing are going to lower their political clout. Which will slowly start helping the legitimacy go up. The idea that you get more conservative as you get older is based on equivocating two different things. One is settling down and having a family. The other is buying and owning assets and houses. Yeah, I've increasingly cared more about my family and community as I got older, but that made me more radical and more left, not less. And most of us can't afford to buy homes. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't experience it. That's a great point. Yeah, like, I'm never going to own a home. The closest I'm getting to owning a home is that my apartment is rent stabilized. And that's pretty much it right there. I've accepted the fact that I'm never going to own a home because it's just way too expensive. Wages are too low and cost is too high. Oh no, we got a locust swarm up here in Timbuktu. Nobody can buy assets anymore. Yeah, that explains the left. Yeah, the leftward tilt. Yeah, that's the thing. If I can't own my home, I want to own my media. To bring it back full circle. Like, don't tell me I can't... You've already told me I can't own a home. And I won't be able to retire at a decent retirement age. Don't tell me I now don't even own my DVDs. I made a quick buck by exporting paper as Sokoto. Made it to #1 in the world. Oh, interesting, interesting. See, the problem is we need a lot of our paper right now because we've expanded so much. We have a lot of bureaucracy we have to make up. Especially, like, once we start getting this... Oh, wait, we just... Oh, so we have the, we have the sulfur. Ooh, cut down government expenses by quite a bit. All right. Ooh, look at coal. All right, so we will go Atmo engine there. Yeah, we need more tools. We need more iron. What's going on with the shipyards? Yeah, we need more qualifying. Let's build a university there. Let's build one there. We'll do that for now. Several workers died today at the East Hausaland Dye Works when an industrial-sized tub of hot dye accidentally spilled out over the workshop floor and the unsuspecting workers. Yeah, we'll take that one. Same shared interest with the wealthier property-owning class that our parents did. Yeah, the rise of socialism is a problem of their own making. If you don't condone anything, you can't use property values as a tool for mobilizing political support for things, yeah, that predominantly benefit the wealthy. The wealth doesn't trickle down anymore. And you're being very generous with the anymore. A lot of things have trickled down. The wealth was not one of them. A famine in Sokoto, Inner Mauritania, has sparked criticism of Sokoto's economic policy of traditionalism, with its opposition to international trade and refusal to change with the times. Okay, so we lose some authority. We lose our maximum tariff, but we get some trade capacity. Landowners will get more upset. This tax hit kind of sucks, but... Well, hold on, though. 30% of lower strata pops in Sokoto, Inner Mauritania become radical, but there's like nobody there, right? Yeah, 2.3k. I think we will take that one because ideally we would like to get off of noble privileges here, so... No. Why does it have to say this, though? Peasants have starved in every era. Such is the way of the world. Yeah, we'd go into a big authority deficit, too, if we did that. Alright, we're gonna have to do that. This feels disgusting. There's wood everywhere to get your prices down. Yeah. I spammed a little bit of wood before. It wasn't enough, though. Oh, actually, no. We have plenty of wood now. Yeah, actually, we have plenty. Oh, you know, that's the other thing. I have not been pinning construction goods to the side here. Although, interesting... Wait. Wait, am I nuts? What was I just looking at? Wasn't wood... Did it not show a surplus 2 seconds ago? Maybe I'm just going nuts. I think I just went nuts for a second. Yeah, I'd like to build one more here and then like... Because we have construction sectors here. And then Benin, I think we need some, right? No, not yet. Ah, here we go. Financial districts, building stuff. Excellent, excellent. We still, though, do not have a lot... Where the... Yeah. The financial districts are not providing a lot. But they're starting to build stuff, which is good. Police officers in uniform have been discovered supporting Sokoto Haitian Association activity while on duty, lowering public confidence in the police force. Who is this for? Oh, oh, I see, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, we'll take the loyalists. When did we get this weird political movement? Wealth has never trickled down. Yeah, that was always a lie. Yeah. Yep. Always has been. And yet some people still believe that it did. I don't get it. Yeah, big F for Sweden. Like, what? I don't think I've ever seen that happen with the AI in the game. That's one aggressive Russia. Speaking of which, I mean, they like us. Not enough to give us trade privileges, though. Is it time to go for the Ashanti? I love the background sound of the political infighting event. There's some guy shouting, da 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 da. I know. I would love to see the recording session for some of those sounds. All right, we can use an admiral now. Authoritarian, slaver, a moderate. Not much of a commander, but yeah, we'll take the moderate. Now we still can't get much involvement generated, so we do have to wait until we start getting more ships. But we are getting... Oh! Appointed bureaucrats. There we go. Let's see what's going to happen with the budget here. Oof. Very nice there. Very nice. Okay. Get us peasant proprietorship. Then we can hopefully be able to get off of traditionalism after that. That's worse than seeing Denmark taking over Sweden. Oh man. That's saying something right there. Well, in New York City for sure. Yeah, those rent prices. Jabbies. Yeah. This is true. This is true. Yeah, that's the thing people don't understand is like I feel like at least in the United States people have this like idea that everyone in New York City is like living large. Generally, wages are higher here in New York, but, like, they kind of have to be because the cost of living is so damn high. Also, conservatives in America aren't conservative anymore. They may performatively espouse the talking points, but they're really just reactionaries. Yeah, so I appreciate representations like that in this game. Yeah, where there are many more interest groups than our duopoly reduces politics to. It's factionalism. Sometimes the factions overlap, sometimes they oppose, and that's ever shifting. Yeah, you know, I don't think I ever truly appreciated the difference between liberal and progressive until I got older. Because I used to always say I'm liberal. Now I realize, no, actually I'm progressive, and there's a difference. All right, so we get return state now on Togo. So we're gonna go for this. Although, let's take a save. As we do. Yeah, American conservatives are just crypto authoritarians. What a world that's a term, right? All right. So for this, we're gonna have to call in everybody. And in fact, I think we'll use a mobilization option here. Yeah, let's use liquor. Oh, what's this Dahomey army? Goodbye. All right. All three of you go here. And now we can just conquer state here. This will put us over 50, though. You know, we could add this as a secondary goal. And that might convince them to just back down. But I also could just, like, take it. Yeah. We'll hold off. I don't want them to back down. I want to take the whole thing. We all die sooner or later. That joke got lost in translation in Spanish. Oh, yeah. The very, very first time ever I saw that, I was like, did they misspell that? I was like, they got me. It's so evil. Yeah. Yeah, I was being a bit tongue-in-cheek. The only thing trickling down now is what leaks from the orange man's diaper. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant too, and I was like, a lot of things trickle down, but not wealth. Yeah, there's a lot that trickles down. Nothing good. Sardinia Piedmont. You guys have no ships. You have no power here, Gandalf the Grey. In your 6 ships. Denmark would join us? Nope. Sorry, guys. You know what? We are just gonna... Oh, look at this. Actually, yeah, let's add this. Because I kind of want Denmark to join in. The perking up as Ham sees a moderate, just like when he finds opium in his territory. Yeah, that's right, right? I did perk up quite a bit when I found we got opium. Uh-oh. A faction of the Sunni ulema, enraged by the sitting government's betrayal of its commitment to them, has lost faith in the political process. They have approached Commodore Yaji Rumfa with the plan to seize power over Sokoto. Oh, I forgot about that failed promise, and we made a Sunni ulema. Well, luckily we can send them away. So where's that fleet? Go project power up here. That will decrease that. Finally, how long was that debate? It took 5 years for sure. Yeah, I know, right? Took a long time to pass that last one. Commodore Yaji Rumfa has become aware of the state's efforts to reduce the amount of military forces available to him. He has accused the government of recklessly meddling in military affairs. So we won't advance the bar by 50. We'll just have to take that hit. I've known too many friends from New York to think anyone there is living large. Yeah. Been on more than one Zoom tour through my expensive apartments. Through tiny expensive apartments. Yeah. Yep, you know. You know. A court clash over peasant proprietorship erupts between a few families. The early bird homesteaders each claim the same land in Sokoto, Chad. The dispute has called the legislation into question. Yeah, so we get some government expenses, which we don't want. We lose some enactment speed. Well, the landowners are already plenty pissed. But we'll take the minus approval from the rural folk. Commodore Rumfa's allies in the diplomatic corps have offered to reach out to the British government for support in their bid for power in return for certain future obligations. Yeah. I don't know. This might be a little troublesome. We're not... I was hoping to get a couple more events by now to lower coup progress. Yeah, you're living large if you have a New York City income but live in Iowa. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true. It's true. A friend of my wife's actually has a situation like that. They were living here in New York. They moved somewhere else, but they kind of work remotely. So they still have a job here in New York, even though they live in a state very far away. It's kind of the best of both worlds. They're getting New York wages in a place that has very low cost of living. I was like, damn, man. They figured out the cheat code. One thing I like about this game is how some of the traits of interest groups change from region to region and country to country. Yeah, I know. That is really cool, too. I agree with that. It makes you wonder, too, just like how much historical research they had to do for some of this stuff, right? Damn, Denmark ended up not joining in. Of all people, Sardinia Piedmont did. Okay. We do have a bit of an issue here. Oh, you know what though? No, you guys stay over here. Don't join the other navy. Call in everyone. Everyone. Yeah. Send in everyone. What a great movie. We're all living large by some areas of the world standard. That's true. It's all a matter of perspective, right? Progressives today are no more progressive than liberals were in the 1970s. The Overton window has just shifted majority to the right. Yeah, the entire like political spectrum has shifted to the right. I talk about this a lot with friends where I'm like, when they try to talk about like things on the radical left, and I'm like, it's not radical. Like our entire political spectrum has shifted right, that you find like something liberal that's actually pretty centrist. So anything left of center is radical, right? It's insane. It's just truly insane to me. Because liberals are the left that the US will allow. Yeah, because it's also performative. The system, yeah, assassinates real leftists. Yeah. I was just talking about this, like, with my wife last night, where I'm like, we are, right now, we are living in a moment in time where we don't know where one of our sitting senators is. We don't know if he's alive or dead, and we're all just like going about our day like that's just a normal thing. Like it's when you really like stop for a moment, that is insane. There is a sitting member of the Senate, and we have no idea where he is or if he's alive or not. Like, how is this? And how does the opposition party not push to find out if he's alive? Like, that is just an insane thing to be happening. And yet we just got to kind of go about our day because we got to continue living our life, and nobody's pressing the issue. Like, is he alive or not? That is one of the people is one of the high-ranking officials of our government alive or not? Should be a very simple question to answer. And we all kind of know the answer because it's very easy to prove if somebody's alive, especially someone as high profile as that, and yet nobody pushes the issue. I'm just, oh my God, I just, you know, it's one of those things where there's just so much insanity happening that if you really start to unfold it, you yourself go insane. And that's kind, I think that's kind of the point right now. That's kind of the point. But this is truly an insane thing happening that we're all just kind of like, and we all, meaning like as a society, just not talking about just like, oh yeah, it's there, but whatever. It has been revealed that Kanaji Agalawa of the Sunni Ulema has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. What do we think about this person? Ooh, plus 50% attraction of interest groups in government. Well, I guess that's helping the intelligentsia right now. If this guy steps down, the next person is probably a traditionalist. Theocrats at the moment don't really matter to us. Here's a 13% chance for a moderate. Although he will lose popularity. Now, force him to step down. So we got a traditionalist. All right. This person is a little bit better to deal with. Oops. I was like, what happened to the sound? Feels weird when there's no music going. We've seen clearly the last few years that the liberals aren't remotely interested in pushing back against fascism. Yeah. And the ones who try are actively suppressed by the Dem Party apparatus. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, why is the Democratic Party more concerned with that guy in Michigan winning than where the hell Mitch McConnell is? That's insane. And that's why we need radical anarchism. Yeah, exactly. I see you're delaying the Jenny Musk as much as you can. Yeah, because it feels like it's going to take forever to build because of the construction inefficiency, and we just need so much more. But I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose this 313 construction progress. I think maybe we'll finally let it build at the end of this queue here. Oh, we're going to get an arms industry in Nigeria. Okay, good. Oh no, sending away to Britain makes things worse. Yeah, we might need to stop this law enactment. I don't think it's going to work. Not right now. Unfortunately. So let's stop it now so that we can start doing something more beneficial. Ah, we can go to private schools. I might do that. Get our literacy up. I mean, we could also go to tenant farmers, but... no, let's go to private schools. Oh man, I watched the new Avatar movie, Last Airbender, not James Cameron, with my kids this weekend. It was phenomenal. Beautiful visuals and awesome action scenes. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I didn't watch, well, it's a show, right? Isn't it a show on Netflix? I didn't watch the first season because I was never, like, into Avatar. That was not... I never really got into it. So I was wondering if I should watch the show or not. Wait, what's going on with the coup progress? Oh, they don't like private schools either. Unbelievable. This is the wrong person to take. All right, let's let the coup spin down here. This is interesting. What the hell? I've never actually seen that happen before. When you stop the law enactment, it usually stops the coup. Hey, Impasta! Hello, hello. Sardinia is your #1 hater. Yeah, that's kind of true, right? I don't know what the hell I did to them. I would be fascinated to peek behind the curtain and see Paradox's process. Seems like much more attention to detail than most other games I've seen, while still allowing for a pretty significant degree of player freedom. Yeah, I would love to see that, right? It just sounds like a really interesting place. Commodore Yaji Rumfa has issued a pronunciamento from his headquarters in Hausaland, the admiral and his allies in the Sunni Ulema have come into open opposition to our government. The armed forces... Well, this was the wrong guy to hire, huh? Should have went with the authoritarians and the slavers. All right, so no laws get overturned, but we can't make any government reforms now. Yeah, I can't even put the landowners in there. Damn. Well, that's a fascinating turn of events there. Yeah, like your Japanese industrialists not wanting laissez-faire. Yeah, remember that? That was fun. Oh, we now border the French. Which is why I would like to be in good with the British here. Hopefully Mamdani can show the world differently. Yeah, hopefully. Man, he's been great so far. And they're pushing back against him. They've been pushing back against him. A contingent of Tuareg people in Sokoto, Timbuktu have openly condemned the new government of Sokoto as a threat to the Tuareg nation. Oh, God. Alright, we'll take this. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so just that over there. We don't need to do that. But we'll start to take this. In the rest of the world, the liberals tend to be the right. Everybody forgets it was Nixon who established the EPA. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. In the rest of the world, the liberals tend to be the right. Yeah, I know, right? It's just, it's so funny how, like, everything is different here in the U.S. when you talk about that term, like liberal and left and conservative and stuff like that. Everybody forgets it was Nixon who established the EPA. Nixon could never be elected today, and not because he's a criminal, he's too liberal. Yeah. And crazy enough, same with Ronald Reagan, who started this whole descent into madness. Yet Reagan couldn't be elected in the current climate. And that guy sucks. No one knew where Mitch is, but Trump will still push the narrative about Biden. Yeah, the auto pen. It was messed up when they were wheeling Dianne Feinstein around the Senate. It's effed up now. I know. It's just a reality TV show. Yeah, like, was she the one that they... I mean, I know who Dianne Feinstein is, but I forget who this was. Because there was somebody who... it had come out that they've actually been living in assisted living for dementia for a period of time. Was that her, or was that a different member? Like, that I found to be an insane story when it came out. I love the devout scandal event. Yeah, it's like a re-roll chance for the religious group leader. I know. Sleeping with a member of the clergy. I watched Judas and the Black Messiah years ago with an ex for one of their college classes. Learning about stuff like what happened to Fred Hampton really broke my faith I had in the system. I know. Yeah, I had a story I had written about the Black Panther movement and did a whole bunch of research into it. And man, it's just, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I'd always known that, like, the government messed with the Black Panther movement. But when you read a lot of the details, it's just... like, the government wrote fake love letters from, like, as posing as one of the high-ranking people in the Black Panther Party, so that another high-ranking, like, Black Panther Party member would hate them. You know, like a love letter from one to that guy's wife. Like, imagine that, like some FBI agent sitting in a suit in their office having to, like, write a fake love letter. Like, that's the degree that we went to with that. Like how MAGA celebrates that Trump aced his cognitive test without realizing having to take those tests isn't a good sign to begin with. Well, but that's what's crazy, is that they know it isn't. They know it isn't a good sign, and yet they're still gonna push the narrative. Well, we've got a good chunk now. I don't think there's as much conquest we're really going to be going for here. Although, yeah, we kind of being blocked here. Now, we really could take the Danish coasts and the Dutch coast. The British Gold Coast, though, we couldn't take that. Maybe it's time to accept that the guys who invented that group and defend slavery and segregation are not the good guys. Yeah. Radical idea there, right? Also, it infuriates me that after decades of shut up and vote from establishment Dems, yeah, who claim that progressives were unelectable, now that real progressives are winning, they're actively fighting it. Yeah, I know. I was just talking about that last night with my wife. Like, what happened to, yeah, just, you know, vote blue no matter who. Yeah, right. Okay. So much for that. Wait, so the private construction queue is not limited by the research? Or is it just a bug? My capitalists love dropping trains everywhere once I research them. Wait, what do you mean by limited by the research? Yeah, my capitalists love dropping trains everywhere once I research them. Yeah, once you research it, they'll start spamming them because they're needed. But yeah, like if you don't have railways yet, they won't be able to add that to the queue. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. Yeah, we'll take that first one. Try to get some loyalists back. What are the objectives for this run? This is just what I like to call a be awesome run. So we're not going for any specific achievement. I kind of liked doing that in the last one with Australia. There's also no Sokoto specific achievement. So I kind of feel like I'm not going to go for a specific one in this. So basically we're just trying to be the best Sokoto we can be. to put it mildly. A statue of Caliph Mohammed Bello Danfodio was commissioned, and it is being suggested that it be displayed proudly in Nigeria. I'd rather not take the radicals here. I don't really care about the prestige at the moment, and the petite bourgeoisie are marginalized, so... Oh. And so are the armed forces now. Damn. Well, we've reached to the conclusion for tonight's stream. There's probably an entire AI assisted department dedicated to generating the perfect love letter for Xi Jinping's wife. Yeah. I know, and it's just sad, right? Sometimes people get so deep in the kayfabe, they completely detach from reality. I know, and it's just, I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm just pulling my hair out at this point. Playing at Sokoto makes you feel impotent. There's so many places to expand, yet there's just resources for a few, and those tests aren't even. Oh yeah, there's resources for a few. Yeah. I mean, I guess like part of the problem right now is our tech. Oh, we don't need that one in Dahomey there. Although we're starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. We could really use urban frame buildings at this point, but we really do need railways and line infantry here. Oh, regarding to what I asked about research, it was in reference to that strange situation you ran into earlier in the stream. Your private construction was building a weapons factory before unlocking them. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the, you know, I don't know what, I think that was more of a bug, really. Because, yeah, I don't know what that was about. Like... Yeah, I get, no, it's not a bug. So gunsmithing unlocks the artillery foundry, but artillery unlocks the production method of cannons. I don't quite get that, though. Cannons is the first production method. Oh, maybe is that why? That's why this building isn't hiring. But I've never seen anything like that with any other building in the game. You can create the building, but you can't produce anything in it. I've never noticed that before because I haven't played in a long time as a country that hasn't had artillery to start with. So yeah, like the private queue is also limited by tech. I guess this isn't a bug though. It's just a weird... I feel like this is one of those things that's not a bug in the sense that the game is doing what they created, but I feel like they must have changed something here and not realized these are two different things. Because otherwise, I don't really understand what the point here is. Try to conquer the entire Africa. Yeah, we will basically. That's kind of, I guess that can kind of be a goal. Push Europe out of Africa. It gets OP later in the game, yeah, because you get almost all rubber. Corner the rubber market. At the very least, you should aim to own all of West Africa. Yeah, we could aim for that. That wouldn't be a bad thing to aim for. If you don't build a statue, then your pops won't have... Yeah, the joy of tearing it down in the future revolution. Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, yeah, you're right. 20 years in the first two streams, not bad. Our Australia one, this was the end of episode 1. But yeah, we got pretty far, actually, in these first two. Does the tech unlock... the cannon unit? No, it unlocked. Yeah, it does unlock that. So we can't do cannon artillery until we get this. So we can't build any artillery units because this is the first artillery unit. So this unlocks that. I don't understand why gunsmithing unlocks the artillery foundry. I mean, really, the artillery foundry should be unlocked here. So I think there's probably something that is happening that shouldn't. From Dahomey to Djibouti. Yeah. I had mentioned the country to Djibouti today to my daughter, and she thought I was making a joke. My daughter thinks half the things I say are a joke because I do joke a lot. I was like, no, really, Djibouti is the name of a country. She was like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, I'm telling the truth. Maybe I do too much joking with her. All right. Well, I think we've reached our end here. Good stream. Good 2 streams today. I think we're off to a decent start here. But that'll be it for tonight. So the next time I'm going to be on will be Thursday. We're going to be continuing the Surviving Mars stream and Surviving Bruno Mars. So hopefully I'll see everybody for that. On Friday, we're starting a new game. There's a new game out called Corsair Cove, which is basically like a city builder, base builder with a pirate theme. It's actually a pretty fun game, and it's brand new. So I'm still, getting my way through it. So that'll be on Friday. But next stream will be Thursday morning, some more Surviving Mars, as we try to terraform Mars. So, yeah, hopefully I'll see everybody for that. Must be a remain of when the arms factory produced both guns and... Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It probably should be reported. Bye-bye. Yeah, Paco, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out tonight, my friend. Thank you for the stream. Yes, DeWolfie, thank you. Oh, you bought Corsair Corsair Cove today. Nice. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Wait till you dive in. It's a good one. Good game tonight, Ham. Yes, thank you. See you next time. Good luck with your other endeavors. Thank you, my friend. Always fun to hang out with you. Thanks for the stream. Enjoy the rest of your night. Same to you. Same to you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hopefully I'll see everybody on Thursday. If not, have a good rest of your night, rest of your evening. Or I meant to say rest of your week. I think I'm tired. But that'll be it for tonight. As always, my friends, be awesome, and I'll see you next time.